At 7:24 a.m. on an April morning in 2025, peace shattered in an instant. 11 Houthi weapons, 6 cruise missiles, 2 ballistic warheads, and 3 drones launched from the Yemeni coastline and surged toward the USS Harry S. Truman. This wasn't a test. It was a real strike aimed not only at damaging US hardware, but at shaking the foundation of American naval dominance. The Truman, a nuclear-powered aircraft carrier valued at $13 billion and carrying over 5,000 sailors, was caught mid-maintenance. Some of its air assets were grounded. The attackers had picked their moment well. But what they didn't count on was how quickly and ferociously the US would respond. From concealed positions in Yemen's rugged western highlands, the missiles and drones launched in a coordinated wave. The cruise missiles, believed to be Quds 4 variants from Iran, skimmed the sea's surface to avoid radar. The ballistic missiles arched high, testing upper-layer defense systems. The drones swarmed low and erratic, meant to distract and divide. It was an attack designed to overwhelm, confuse, and destroy. Inside the Truman's Combat Information Center, screens lit up. Alarms screamed. Commanders had seconds to make decisions that could determine the survival of an entire strike group. The escort ships snapped into action. Aegis systems locked on. Sea Sparrow missiles launched. Phalanx CIWS turrets spun to life, tearing the sky with armor-piercing fire. Super Hornets scrambled from the flight deck. It was a perfect storm, and the Navy met it head-on. In the chaos, a single FA-18E was lost. During a hard, evasive maneuver by the carrier, the jet lost balance and ditched into the sea. The pilot survived and was quickly recovered. But the danger had been real. The missiles had come within seconds of impact, yet none hit their mark. Every Houthi weapon was intercepted or destroyed. The strike had failed, but the answer from the US had only just begun. At 8:09 a.m., less than 45 minutes after the attack, the USS Harry S. Truman launched Operation Package Echo. This was not a blind retaliation. It was pre-authorized, precise, and brutal. The mission to eliminate key Houthi assets used in the attack and deliver a strategic message: if you try to strike a US carrier, we will bury your capability before your next move. The launch was immediate. 12 FA-18 Super Hornets lifted off the flight deck armed with 1,000-pound GPS-guided JDAMs. EA-18G Growlers joined them equipped with jamming pods to blind enemy radar and communications. High above, an E-2D Hawkeye circled, providing a real-time tactical picture. From the east, the USS Gravely, a destroyer in position, launched Tomahawk cruise missiles, low-flying terrain-hugging killers set to strike within minutes. The first target was a drone warehouse near Al Hudaydah. Satellite intel showed it held UAVs identical to those used in the morning attack. At 8:33 a.m., a Tomahawk smashed into it. The resulting blast triggered secondary explosions with fuel and munitions cooking off, turning the site into ash. Minutes later, a Super Hornet delivered a 1,000-pound bomb onto a hardened command bunker west of Sana'a. That facility served as the rebel group's operations hub. It collapsed under the blast. Seismic monitors aboard the Truman registered the impact from 50 miles away. The final target, a SAM site shielding the Houthi launch area, was wiped out by a combination of aerial bombs and cruise missiles, leaving any future launches completely exposed. No American aircraft were lost. Every pilot returned to the deck safely. But more importantly, the mission achieved full strategic disruption. It broke the Houthis' chain of command, crippled their drone supply, and destroyed their air defenses. In 1 hour, the US Navy had gone from defending to dominating. But this operation did more than just destroy assets. It shattered a doctrine. For decades, the Navy operated under rules of restraint. Don't fire unless fired upon. The April 2025 attack buried that mindset. Within 72 hours, the Pentagon authorized a new policy: if a US ship is targeted by radar, locked by a missile system, or threatened by UAV launch signatures, it may fire first. The age of waiting was over. This shift was monumental. Proxy groups like the Houthis, backed by powers such as Iran, had grown accustomed to exploiting American patience. That loophole was now closed. The new doctrine made it clear hesitation invites death. The Navy rewired its strategy overnight. Commanders were trained to read radar intent more aggressively. Sailors drilled for preemptive launch protocols. Ships recalibrated engagement systems to identify lock-on threats within milliseconds. The battlefield had changed, and the US adapted with terrifying speed. Beyond tactics, this signaled something deeper to the world. To the Houthis, your ability to shock us is gone. To Iran, your proxies will not shield you. To the global trade community, watching nervously from Singapore to Rotterdam, the Red Sea is still protected. This waterway carries over 10% of the world's trade. A single successful strike on a carrier here could shatter oil markets and paralyze supply chains. The US response not only defended military honor, it preserved global economic stability. The psychological impact was immediate. The Houthis went silent. Iran's messaging wavered. No retaliation followed. Why? Because the cost had just been demonstrated in high definition with satellite proof. The American carrier group wasn't just resilient, it was untouchable. And any future attempt wouldn't just fail, it would vanish before it began. The Red Sea incident of April 2025 was more than a clash. It was a turning point. It redefined modern naval warfare. It killed outdated doctrines. It ushered in a new age of preemptive dominance. The message from the Truman was clear. America doesn't need to wait for the punch. It lands the first blow now with speed, with precision, and with zero apology. If this war documentary opened your eyes, support the mission. Like, subscribe, and comment below. Military Cipher is committed to delivering the most accurate, high-intensity military breakdowns on the web. More are coming. Stay alert, stay with us.